ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः।
Friends, welcome back to the study of the Bhagavad Gita. I would like to make it absolutely clear to you, please don't count the number of shlokas that you are studying and how fast you are proceeding to complete the study. Please don't expect that. It is such a scripture, it is such a religious text that each and every word has to be first intellectually understood. What does Sri Krishna wants to drive home? Literal translation is available in almost all the languages of the world. But literal translations don't help to build up your character. It is the conviction, the intellectual conviction, when converted into a behavior pattern, then only it will change your personality. And what is the purpose of this study? The purpose of this study is to change this egocentric personality, which is buffeting between, is being kicked around like a football between pleasure and pain, happiness and misery. Is there any way to live in this world with your head held high and absolutely unperturbed, undisturbed, untouched, unreached by the vagaries of the world, and you are at the top of it, though you live in this world? This is the goal that the Gita wants us to reach and to arrive. And because of my lifelong experience, I would like to share with you that intrinsic, essential meaning, what Sri Krishna wants to teach us, and how we can absorb that and build up our personal lives, that this egocentric personality slowly and slowly evolves into the divine. That is the only goal of life if you are serious with your life. Otherwise, we have the freedom to lead the life that we are leading, buffeted between pleasure and pain, what we call it in English, the dual throng, two extremes. If you want to live that life, we have no objection. But if you want to live that life where you are appearing to be enmeshed in these worldly affairs, but you are far, far, far above it, nothing can disturb you, nothing can touch you, nothing of these vagaries of the world can reach you, what to speak of touching you. This is what the Gita wants us to know, to learn, and to put it into practice. So please bear with me if I am not progressing on the number of verses, but please pay attention to the essence of the meaning of the Gita as we have acquired during these various periods of life. Moreover, don't think it is my brain wave. This is what I'll appeal to you with folded hands. What I speak of is what Acharya Shankara has said on the Gita, and putting that into practice by living with such people who has lived that life in the world, not of it. I had the great fortune of living with them, and they were kind enough to teach me the Upanishads and the Gita and etc. And whatever I have practiced in my life, I pour it out to you. So please don't think that it is this individual's brainwave. I want to pass on to you the collective wisdom of saints and seers. Now let me come back to it, because these few introductory sentences of the 5th chapter is extremely important, because it is practice-oriented. How to transform your personality is the basis of Arjuna's questioning. What does Arjuna ask? Sir, in one breath you speak of karma yoga. In the next breath you speak of karma sannyasa. According to the literal meaning, it is poles apart, like light and day, light and darkness. And you tell me to do that. Please be kind to me. Tell me which is the better of the two, so that I can, without any ambiguity, follow that and reach that goal known as liberation, realization, freedom, moksha, mukti. And there's one universal definition of that state of awareness known as moksha and mukti. What is that? Atyantika dukkha nivritti parama sukha prapti. What is realization? What is freedom? What is liberation? I am a human being. If I am not responsive to anything, am I supposed to reduce myself, this vibrant, throbbing, living life organism, into an inanimate object? The inanimate object is living, is present, without any feeling. Do you want this human being to convert itself into an inanimate object? Is that your goal? Sri Krishna wants to hear from you thoroughly, correctly, clearly, unambiguously. That is why Sri Arjuna has asked this question, Jat Shreya Tayorekam Tanme Bruhi Shunishitam. Whichever is better for me of these two parts, please tell me clearly, unambiguously, convincingly. Now, let us be very commonsensical now, because a robust common sense is very much required to be spiritual. You are not supposed to be an idiot or a stupid to be spiritual. Every foolish, stupid thing sell in the name of spirituality. Let us look at it from the robust sense, common sense point of view. Why does Arjuna ask this question? Because he is not clear himself. That clarity is not within him. That is why, very modestly and humbly, he is asking, sir, which is the better of the two? What is that lack of clarity? Lack of clarity, the word karma, duty, is applied to both the words. Karma yoga, karma sannyasa. Arjuna takes the word sannyasa in its grammatical meaning. Samyak nyasa, sannyasa. Samyak means in totality, without any residue left. And nyasa means rejection. Rejection of something in such a totality that no residue is left and no possibility of coming back again. That is the meaning of the word sannyasa. Now the word karma is attached to the word yoga, and this karma attached to the word sannyasa. Now tell me, from common sense point of view, does it create a confusion or not? So don't blame Arjuna. He is our representative, very sharp-witted, very commonsensical, very clever. He represents all of us, and he asks God face to face. Now don't play games with me. Come clean. Be straightforward. You are using two words. In both the words, the word duty is paramount. At the same time, you say perform your duty and you say reject your duty. What do you mean? Is it clear now, my dear friends? So don't take these verses or these words very casually. A dictionary meaning doesn't help. This does help. So Sri Krishna says, Arjuna, why are you confused? Both of them, karma yoga and karma sannyasa, will lead you to the same goal if it is correctly, properly, thoroughly performed. Mind the word performance. What does it mean? Changing your behavior pattern in this world. That is your performance. So he says, between the two, if you ask me which is the path of lesser risk, I would tell you, karma sannyasat, karma yoga, vishishyate. I will tell you openly, karma yoga is better than, more excellent than, or it excels karma sannyasa, because very few people initially understand what has to be rejected. They throw away the baby with the bathtub water. They don't know what is to be rejected. So he says, this is what it is. Less risky, more excellent. What is that? Karma yoga is less risky than karma sannyasa. Now, let us understand the meaning of the word karma. From the commonsensical point of view, karma means duty. The concept in the brain and the performance in your body. I'm performing my duty. I'm convinced this is my duty. As a Swami, as a very old senior monk, I happen to be in charge of the organization. It is my sacred duty to share with you the secrets of the scripture. That is karma. Now we see sannyasis all around. And the commonsensical understanding of a sannyasi is he runs away of this duty of being a householder, being in the family life, and etc., etc. Even if he is single, he belongs to the world. He has his sense of duty and he performs the sense of duty. Who is a karma sannyasi? The sense of duty is an inborn, intuitive in humans. There's not a single person who doesn't have a sense of duty, whatever that may be, however perverse it may be from social and moral and ethical point of view, and however noble it may be. But it is a conviction, and we are born with it. So karma sannyasa here means, let us now analyze before studying the shloka number 3. Shloka number 3 says, Gya sa nitya sannyasi. Know for certain, he is a sannyasi for all times to come. Who is he? Has he 2 horns and a long tail in a human body so that I can identify him? Who is he? Yo, the person, he who, na dveshti, na kankshati. Here you are. He is to be called a sannyasi for all times and being, who has totally rejected. That rejection is so total that it will never come back again. Totally uprooted. No chances of re-emergence, returning. That is what is sannyasa is. He who has got rid of attachment to the things of the world, attachment of the promises of the heaven, and aversion to the things of the world and aversion. Attachment and aversion. Attachment is raga and aversion is dvesha. A person, a karma sannyasi, who performs his duty of life, a normal human being, no exception. It's an attitudinal correction which is known as sannyas. What is that attitudinal correction? I live in this world. I expect nothing from it. And if the worst calamity comes to me, not for my seeking, I don't lose my cool. This is the way of the world. And he says in another place in the Gita, Sukhe dukkhe same kritva, labha alabha jaya ajayo. Same kritva. Be so controlled within yourself that you are as solid as a granite rock, as cool as a cucumber. Nothing in this life upsets you. Nothing in this life hurts you, hits you, feels you attracted, feels you averse, makes you feel averse. Nothing doing. I am what I am. I am beyond these vagaries of the world. I am Atma Brahma. I am the supreme, sublime existence alone. Come what may. I am neither attached nor am I. What does it mean? I have mastered my emotions to such a manner that the reaction to this world has been obliterated. I live in this world. And two examples are given in the Gita and in our scriptures. One is a swan. Lives in water, swims in water, dips itself in water, goes down hunting for food in the water, but not a single feather gets wet. Water has lost its capacity to wet its feathers, where to get things wet is natural dharma of water. Second example is, that is like a swan, you live in water, but water cannot wet your furs. What is the second? I don't know whether you have seen it or not for yourself. I'll request you try it out. A lotus sapling. Take a lotus leaf. Pour a little water on that leaf. You will find that small bubble of water, a small ball of water, looks like mercury. And you play with that water, rolling on the leaf. The water rolls on, but there is no mark on the leaf. The capacity to wet has been negated. You live in this world, but neither you're attracted to anything, nor any mishap upsets you. You don't want to avoid mishaps. You are neither attached nor averse to the happenings of the world. He is a sannyasi for all times to come. not only a person who wears this color of cloth or who talks tall. You can be a sannyasi. Nobody would know, but you will enjoy atyantik dukkha nimritti paravasukha prapti. That is total abnegation of being a victim of circumstances, total and immersed in a divine ecstatic joy. Gya sanitya sannyasi. Now, the word karma is in both places. Karma yoga and karma sannyasa. So now the concept of karma is being converted into concept of puja. Work is now being converted into worship. Karma yoga. So he says, a Nitya Sannyasi performs his duty in this world. Whether he is a householder, whether he is a professional, whether he is a mendicant monk, it is immaterial. But he has to perform. Without performance, your personality will not evolve. So the performance has to be there. Correction of your behavior pattern has to be there. And you have to live your life for which you are born. But the ultimate purpose of being born is to be moksha, mukta, etc. That is, you are liberated from the bondage of the society, bondage of the world. Where does that bondage come? I saw no tentacles on my wrists. I don't see any rope binding me down. The bondage is in my mind. Attachment to the world, expectation of fulfillment of my desire, and trying to avoid what I do not want. Get rid of your liking and your disliking and live a life like a swan in water, a life of a sannyasi in the world. I hope now the word karma yoga and karma sannyasa is clear to you. Now, how can I? Let me go a little away, because these are the cornerstone, the foundation of understanding the secrets of spiritual life. What is karma, dear? It starts from the brain and it's end up in our behaviors. I am a professional to do my job perfectly, correctly, thoroughly, excellently is expected of me. Anything that I do it with this and a desire to fulfill my ambition. To be rich, to be wealthy, to be reputed, the whole world will be enamored by me. That is my desire. So the motivation is desire. Now how can I perform without any motivation? I don't ask for anything. I don't dislike anything. So I'm making myself inert, unmotivated. How can I work then when I have no motivation? the Gita and the Indian way of life teaches you there are millions and millions of diverse motivations. Choose a motivation which will be there but will not lead you to bondage. How can it be done? The answer is you have two words, work and worship. Analyze them. What is work? Performance of certain duty is work. What is worship? I am doing something. Performance is the same. Physically involvement is common to both work and worship. You come here, you stand in front of the pictures, idols, what a statue, whatever it is, and you put your hands together, you bow down, you cross yourself. According to your tradition, is that not a physical activity? Physical activity is common to work and worship. Emotional activity is common to both of them. Here you want worldly pleasure and satisfaction. Here you want God to be pleased with you and bless you and remove all your problems. Emotional activity. Rationally, to excel, you're involved in your profession. Rationally here, you know it's a piece of cloth, a piece of cardboard, and a quantity of paint. That is what it is. But rationally, you have understood it's a symbol symbolizing the divine. You're rationally active. Physically, emotionally, rationally, you are active. What is the fourth dimension? Egoistically, I am involved. I am trying to explain to you the Bhagavad Gita. I am in presence of the divine, praying to him for his mercy and for his compassionate blessings. I am involved. 4 involvements are common in work and worship. Physical, emotional, rational, egoistic. What's the difference? Think of the difference. Use your brains, use your common sense. In work, the awareness of presence of God does not exist. Where in worship, awareness of presence of God has to be there. Then only it is a worship. If you generalize the word work with dharma, then there is the trick of the trade. Yoga karmashu kaushalam. And what is kushalata? Dexterity. Karma egoistically performed is cause of bondage. That karma performed with an attitude of offering to God is not a cause of bondage. That is, I am involved in 4 principal aspects Fifth aspect is the awareness of presence of God is worship. Work transforms into worship. Let me make a very, very blunt example. If I am deep within my personality, have the slightest idea, let all of you know how intelligent, how educated, how erudite, how well informed about Scripture I am. It is not worship. It is egoistic work. But through 70 years of 77 years of experience, I have graduated from work into worship. All this is various manifestations of my Ishtadev, Sri Ramakrishna. And he has given me the honor, the privilege, the pleasure of serving him in so many forms. What a blessing! I don't exist. It is my God who is in me, my God who is everywhere, and this I of mine has been transformed into an instrument in the hands of God. Is it clear, my dear friends? This is what karma sannyasa is. And I have lived, I have seen, I have interacted with such people who openly says, don't argue, my dear child. I used to poke him because I was told by other senior Swamis, if you don't poke a beehive, honey will not drop. Keep on poking him with questions. And you'll put him in such a corner, he has to admit the truth and reality. And that is precisely what I did. And the poor Swami ultimately came out, look, my dear child, what I have experienced as oneness of God, that makes me speak to my God in you. Have faith, you will prosper. If you do not have faith, I am helpless to help you. Please remember such statements. That is, their life has been totally transformed as an instrument in the hand of God. Ego is there. The ego is managed by the instructions of the divine. Now, let me complete the third shloka. Please see if you have your books with you. Geya sa nitya sannyasi. Know him to be a sannyasi for all times to come, who will never lose his understanding as a sannyasi. Ja na dveshti na kankshati. He who does not feel averse to the happenings of the world, neither he is attached to anything of the world. Nirdandho hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. A person who is nirdandha, who has gone beyond this duality of aversion and attachment, he reaches the goal very, very, very soon, very quickly. This is how the third shloka ends. The fourth and the fifth shloka, I should have started on it, but I thought, let me share with you the joy of understanding the inner meaning, the essential meaning of the scriptures. Now the fourth shloka. He says, Sankha yogo prithagvala pravadanti na pandita. Let me stop here. Sankha and yoga. Sannyasa and karma yoga. Nisreyasha kara ubhav. Both of them differently. There are different modes of practice. They lead to the same goal. Nisreyasha kara ubhav. They are means to achieve the same goal. Bala pravadanti na pandita. The souls who are realized, people who have thoroughly understood, they say they are not different. Where ignorant people, they say householder's life and monk's life are different. On appearance, on performance, it is different. Goal-wise, it is not different. This is the trick of the trade. Don't be carried away by the contradiction of these two words. Sankhya means sannyasa. Yoga means performance of duty. People say, unenlightened, ignorant people say they are prithak, they are separate, they are miles apart. And we think, yes, they are miles apart. But Pandita, the realized souls, Panda Visharkam Jnanam Jasyasti Sa Pandita. This is the grammatical or, I will say, etymological meaning of the word Pandita. We use that word. Panda is Atma. A person who has known the real nature of himself, his self, is Pandita. A Atma Jnani Purusha, a Brahma Jnani Purusha, an Ishvara Drashta Purusha, who had a vision of the divine, the omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent divine, and the Atman, Nirgun, Nirakara, Nirvikalpa Brahma, without name, without form, without qualities, without any distinctive factors, they are absolute. Those who have known them, experienced them, they say, don't think of the difference in performance. They reach the same goal. Sankhya Yoga Prithak Bala Pravadanti. They say they are totally different, like north and south, but not a realized soul. What do they say? They say, Ekam api asthita samyak ubhayor bindati phalam. Oh dear me. If you are following the traditional dictates of one method or the other method, you reach the same goal. What is that same goal? Atyantika dukkha nivritti paravasukha prapti. Total abnegation of misery, pain, unhappiness, sadness, and you are saturated with ecstatic divine joy, which cannot be moved, granite rock solid. So now comes the question, how do you say they are not different, they are the same? And this has been totally explained, exposed by performance by Sri Ramakrishna himself, the only example in Indian cultural history, India's spiritual history. I will tell you before I close for today, these two shlokas are extremely important from intellectual understanding. The first three shlokas were intellectual conviction, at the same time instruction to performance. And this one, firstly, is intellectual. Sannyasa means samyak nyasa, total rejection. And karma means performance of your duties. As I told you, generally speaking, we throw the baby along with the bathtub water. We don't strain them. We don't filter them. Let us filter it out. This karma work, Sri Krishna has told you in 3rd chapter, he is repeating here, how this karma can be converted into karma yoga. By constantly being aware of the divine, you are in the process of divinizing yourself. What you think, so you become. It's an English idiom. I am not saying. What you think, so you become. That is why when we were children, our parents taught us not to say evil, not to see evil, not to hear evil, not to be evil. Be good. By being good, by saying things good, by hearing things good, by behaving in a good manner, you will be good. What you think, so you become. Now, Karma Yoga teaches you that you constantly think of the divine, and whatever you do it as an offering to the divine by being correct, being thorough, being perfect, being excellent. And whatever you do it with these 4 attitudes put together, and then say, Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu, Ishvara Arpanamastu. I want nothing from this world. Dear sir, I am not in a position to do ritualistic worship. I have converted this into my ritual. This is Karma Yoga. You are saturating yourself. On the other hand, in Karma Sannyasa, you are cleansing yourself. I will not be attached. I will not be averse. No, nothing of it. No, nothing of it. I am sweeping the floor of my house. I am using the filter in my swimming pool in my backyard. The water has been dirty. I don't see the mosaic beauty of the bottom of my pool. I don't see it. So I'm filtering it. Automatic filtration. And slowly and slowly and slowly, the water becomes cleaner, 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 and it becomes totally transparent. And what happens? The beauty of the mosaic comes and hits your eyes. What you have done, you have cleaned the water. Here, your personality is the water, full of likes and dislikes, full of desires. By being karma sannyasi, you're slowly and slowly wiping away the dirt of your personality. And a time will come when your personality will be so transparently clear that your true original nature will blossom out. I am Atma Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi. I am that. Why? My heart is cleansed. Two different paths. Karma Yoga, Karma Sannyasa. On the face of it, it is east and west. End result is the same. You're enjoying that ecstatic divine bliss. Now, we always say Christianity is different from Hinduism. In Hinduism, there are thousands of different sects. In Christianity, there are different sects. Islam is a different religion. And we project our small ego into our own belief and we say, my religion is better than yours. So, the end result is, with a sharp knife, we run at each other's throat. That is what the world is today. Let us have that moral courage to admit what we have made of our human society, which is nothing else but family of God. We are all children of the divine. Amritasya putra. The realized soul, in the joy of his divine ecstasy, he speaks out, Sridharananda Vishe, O the world, O dear world, people of the world, listen to me kindly. Amritasya putra. We are the children of the divine bliss. I have returned from that area and I'm in this world today and I'm proclaiming this truth. We are all children of the divine bliss. This is from the Upanishads. So, goal-wise, the paths are different, but the goal is the same. Please bear with me for a minute more. Swami Vivekananda ji, I will come back to this example that I said. In the modern day, it is Sri Ramakrishna who converted his life into an experimental laboratory. I'll come back to it later on. I'll conclude with a very simple example which will go home and you will understand what it means. There are innumerable faiths and beliefs in the world. Each one of that says, I will lead you to liberation, to moksha and to mukti. Good enough. I have nothing to quarrel about it. What is the harmony? What is the harmonious answer to this? Listen to Swamiji. He says, conceive of a circle. What does a circle conceive of? A center, a radius, and a circumference drawn. These three elements goes to make a circle. And for our purposes, worldly requirements, we have divided that circumference into 360 degrees. 360 different points in that circumference. Subdivided into minutes, 60 times. Subdivided into seconds, another 60 times. So, how many seconds are there in a circumference? 1,296 points. Check me up if I am wrong on your computer. 296,000 points. Now, from each point, if you draw perpendicular, when do you reach? If it is a perpendicular, where do you reach? You reach the center. You can't reach anywhere. Mind you, it must be a perpendicular. Now, Swamiji says, Vivekananda ji says, he learnt it from his matchless master, Sri Ramakrishna. The example is his creation, but the idea came from his master. From that 1,296,000 points, draw a perpendicular. It will reach the center. The center is Atyantik Dukkha Nivritti Paravasukha Prapti. Universal. You will be absolutely saturated with divine ecstatic joy, which is indestructible, which is immutable. Only thing is, it must be a perpendicular, samyak, perfect, thorough, correct, excellent follow of the tradition. That is how it is said, all paths lead to Rome. All roads lead to Rome. All religious faiths and beliefs lead to the same goal. Moksha, bhakti, ecstatic, divine joy. It has to be done thoroughly, correctly, perfectly, excellent. That is the concept of perpendicular. This is what the Gita will teach you in next 2 shlokas. Thank you, dears. Thank you.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna